Good morning. Welcome to Between My Therapist and I. My name is Yella Lee Smith. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and the owner of The Traveling Therapist. Today, we're going to be tackling how to stay on track during the summer. As we all know, comes the summer, everything seems to kind of just go all over the place. All the order, all the hard work that you've put into keeping your kids organized and well established goes completely out the window. So I'm going to give you guys just like a quick set of tips to help you stay on track during the summer. And then I would recommend that you visit our social media, Facebook and Instagram, because I am also going to put these tips and actually some of these tips on the social media right before the school starts. And so you'll be able to have like a refresher at that time as well. Okay, so the first thing that I want to tackle is sleep. Most of the time kids think summer is a free-for-all when it comes to sleep. And parents sometimes may feel kind of guilty if they try to control the sleep of the child because they understand, the child has been waking up very early in the morning. They want the child to feel like they're enjoying their summer and having the freedom to stay up late and things like that is kind of something that just has always gone hand in hand with a summer vacation, a positive, enjoyable summer vacation. I would recommend, and this is actually myself and Crystal, our play therapist, our recommendation is that you maintain a bedtime that's a reasonable bedtime. Let's say you give them 1-2 hours after their regular bedtime to stay up, but no more than that. Like the sleepovers, the overnight stays, the late stays, keep them still to the weekend. And then during the weekday, yes, they can still stay up maybe a couple of hours later than usual, but make it so that it's not so late that when the time comes, you can't rein in that schedule, because what happens is their entire internal clock is going to change. If you give them the full 2 months of summer to stay up however late they want, their entire system is going to rework itself and get used to staying up late. And for them to go back to having to wake up early in the morning is going to be so hard. So focus on doing the overnight stays and the sleepovers and the long vacation stays and things like that on weekends, like Friday nights, Saturdays, and Friday nights and Saturdays, and then maybe a Sunday since it's the summer. But on Monday to Thursday, try to maybe do a couple hours, but no more. Something that Crystal suggests is that if you still want to make the child feel like they're having an amazing time over the summer, but they're still going to bed at a reasonable time, is instead of focusing on how much quantity you're putting into the summer, so how much quantity of time you're putting into the summer, think of how much quality of time you're putting into the summer. So instead of, for example, letting the kids just play video games to the crack of dawn, focus on having go on Pinterest, go on Instagram, go on social media, go on mom groups, things like that. Come up with as many ideas as you possibly can of fun, active play that the children can do, whether it's crafts, whether it's sports, whether it's going to the park, playing in the yard, playing with the dog, however you want. But try to find as many activities that are active activities as possible. Write them down or put them on popsicle sticks so that they can pick them out and use those throughout the day rather than just letting them do video games the entire day. Because what happens is video games don't tire the person. They may tire the mind eventually, but they don't tire the person. So the kids can play those video games for 24 hours straight. They'll be tired, but since they're getting bits of stimulation, they can do it nonstop. You want stuff that's active. You want stuff that has quality in that time that they're spending. So, okay, maybe they don't have 24 hours of freedom. Maybe they only have 12, 15 hours of freedom. Well, in that time, how much quality can you put into it? So that's the first suggestion from Crystal and myself is focus on having the kids do activities that tire them out physically. If they're going to do screen time, let them do screen time early in the day or during the really hot times of the day when you don't want them to be outside. And then during the cooler times of the day and later on in the day, then let them do the more active activities so that they can start wearing down. Another thing is try to limit anything that has to do with the screen before bedtime. That's just like a golden rule because you don't want them to have that stimulation before bed. The next thing is you still want them to keep up with their room. So if they usually keep up with their room, make sure that you still have them on a schedule for cleaning up their room and keeping up with their room. That helps. Anything that you can maintain that maybe you had before that worked, try to do that. So if they were eating dinner at a certain time, try to eat dinner at that same time as often as possible. If they were eating lunch at a certain time, try to do that as often as possible. If they had a schedule for cleaning their room, try to do that. Things like if they had a shower schedule, try to keep them on that. So anything that they can potentially continue to do on the schedule will help you, because essentially you don't want to have to start everything from scratch. That's a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to get them on a schedule. It's a lot of work to get them back on a schedule. So anything that you can maintain, try to keep the maintenance of it. And then try to keep them active during the afternoon hours. Wear them out that way. Another suggestion is have them do activities around the house that are also helpful to the house. So find ways to make like helping in the yard fun or rewarding in some way. Helping around the house rewarding and fun. Helping a neighbor rewarding and fun, etc., etc. The last thing is when it comes to going back to classes, about the last, not the last thing, there's actually one more thing before that I want to say. So this, as you're getting them used to going back to class, about the last week before it's time, have them start working on some activity books that are fun, but at the same time are educational, because you want to start getting their minds prepared for learning. Then the last thing, this is actually the last thing, would be the 2 weeks before school. Make sure that you yourself as a parent have everything taken care of as far as like you got the supplies, you got, more importantly, even than the supplies, because you can do that the last week, but like even more importantly, make sure that all the paperwork is done, make sure that you have signed them on properly to the school, all that stuff that they send you emails about. And very importantly, those 2 hours that you had been allowing them to stay up during Monday through Thursday, now we're going to start cutting back. So cut back 10 to 15 minutes every day for those 2 weeks until you get to the time that you used to have before summer. So if they used to go to bed at 9 o'clock before summer and now they're going to bed at 11 or 12, start cutting back little by little every day until you get them back to 9 o'clock. The week before, you want to start getting them comfortable with setting out clothes for themselves, even if it's the clothes for the next day to go play. It doesn't matter. You want them to start getting into the routine of setting out their clothes, setting out their shoes, things like that. And then, of course, the night before, you're going to have them do their backpack, set out their uniforms, their shoes, make sure everything fits properly if they have new clothes, new uniforms, things like that. Make sure that they know exactly where their snacks are for their lunch bag. So make sure they know where their snacks are, their food, the food that they're going to need to have for the lunch bag is. Everything has a place. You can use cubbies for that. You can use a certain space in the fridge so that they know, okay, I'm half asleep, but I know exactly where to go to grab exactly what I need to make my lunch bag and just get out the window, not the window, get out the door. So, okay, just a quick recap. Quality, not quantity, in the time that they're out and about. Doesn't have to be a free-for-all. Yes, great for weekends. Doesn't have to be a free-for-all on weekdays. They can still have fun. It's okay to make helping around the house fun. Try to keep as many routines as possible still going during the summer, with intermittent interruptions, yes, but as consistent as possible. Couple of weeks before, make sure that you're cutting back on the time until you get it to the time that you want them to go to bed. The week before, you try to get them comfortable with setting out clothes. Organize the pantry so that they know where their snacks are going to be. Have a place for the lunch bag, have a place for the backpack. And then the night before, make sure that they have everything set and ready to go. I hope that this was helpful. And if you have any thoughts, ideas, comments, anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comment box. And of course, as always, we'd love for you to join us in our channel and like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.